So there's been some concern over the past 3 weeks, I guess, about the security around things like House Party, which I know is not intended to be, in any case, in any way business focused, but also latterly Zoom, and I'm not wishing to cast aspersions on either of those two things. Both House Party and Zoom have come out fighting and threatened litigation and big rewards for anyone who can prove that they don't have sufficient encryption. Can you tell the viewers at home exactly how secure Teams is? Simon went some way towards that. Is there anything you can do to emphasize that further?
I'll let Si, are you happy to answer that?
Yeah, my understanding is that that actually Microsoft is known as being one of the most secure environments, and with particularly, I think the important thing that we're seeing with clients a lot where they may not set up two-factor authentication. I think it's all about how you configure your Office 365 environment and making that level of security important in your policies and the way you work. So we have two-factor authentication, which just means that when you're logging in, it will send a text to your mobile. So unless you've got your mobile and got that number, you can't log in. And that really helps to secure the environments that you're in. All of Office 365 has got that capability. And so long as you've got your policies set up correctly, it is a really safe and secure environment. And the other thing about your data is that within Teams and within the Teams environment, the data is stored in more than one data warehouse within Microsoft and in more than one continent. So you know that your information is robust.
Okay, yes. So from that, I think it's clear that it's about policies and having the correct policy, appropriate policies in place, but also making sure that your GDPR is covered off, especially if you've got stuff in a different country, information in a different country. But yeah, I mean, that's doable. It should be in place for all businesses all the time anyway. It's just suddenly become in tighter focus, hasn't it?
It has. And its security is a very hot topic at the best of times, and it certainly is now. And just kind of outside of the piece about different applications, there are cyber criminals around the world who are using COVID-19 as a way of committing crime, of taking machines down, of installing ransomware, malware. So all of the usual advice that is given, particularly if you've got a managed services provider who looks after your IT infrastructure, everybody is saying, make sure you watch out for phishing emails, for smishing text, so SMS phishing text messages, where people can make out that they're your bank and they will send you a text message that says you've had a potential breach, or you're entitled to some money under COVID-19 and there's a grant available, click here to go and start your application. If you're not expecting those kinds of messages, do not click on those links, because there's a good chance that they will be an attack on your data and on your privacy. So if you're unsure, do not click a link. Go and find the source. So go back to your bank, go back to the website address that you know, go back to a phone number that you know is the bank's phone number, and use those details to contact the bank if you've had something unusual come through, to verify whether or not it's for real. So just be doubly on guard to make sure that you're not subject and become a victim of cybercrime. Another thing that I've heard in the tech news is that there's a big increase in the number of fake websites that are being registered. So this is where somebody would register a domain and it looks like a real one. So you might have Microsoft, for example, but instead of the I, it's a number 1, or an O would be a 0. So it looks as though it's for real, but actually it isn't. It's a fake site, and they can set those sites up and they can make them secure so that you get a padlock, but it's not the real site. So be very careful about what you're doing, especially if you're having something come through about donating to COVID charities, about grant applications, about loan applications, about money that you're entitled to. Make sure you go back to the true source and take it from there, rather than following a link on a text message or on an email that you get through.